Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I hope your holidays were fantastic. Mine, on the other hand, not what I expected at all, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Although I did have some good times here and there. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. And don't forget to hit that like button. So what happened? Well, I spent December 21st, the entire day, packing for our 5-day trip to St. Simon's Island off the coast of Georgia. We were going with a local tour group, and we were supposed to stay at the King and Prince Resort. I was looking forward to it. It was on the ocean, and it always takes me like an entire day to pack. I'm very slow. I have a 2-page packing list, but I go through it check by check, and I have everything on there. Of course, I make it individualized for the trip I'm going on by deleting and adding, but it took me on and off all day to get all this stuff laid out, and I knew that night I was going to put it all into the suitcase because we were getting picked up at 6:50 the next morning. This tour company picks you up at home and then takes you to the office where you get on the big bus, which is wonderful because you don't have to worry about parking your car or anything. The morning before we were scheduled to leave, I woke up with a sore throat. Pretty bad sore throat. And I know from experience throughout my life that this is the way it goes. I get a sore throat, and then I get a runny nose and a full-blown cold, and then I get a cough. And this process goes on and on and on. Now, the thing was, I had already been sick, I think about 2 weeks prior. It was very short-lived because I took a lot of zinc to prevent the cold. I think I was down for 2 days where I couldn't function. But I thought I had, gotten rid of it. But no, here it is again. So I wake up with this sore throat, and I know what's going to happen. And I think, I cannot sit on that bus for probably 8 hours to get to where we're going because I don't feel good. And the last place you want to be when you don't feel good is sitting on a bus. Besides, I'd have to wear a mask, and there's a risk of infecting other people. I knew I couldn't go. And, there was just no question about it. So I called the agency and told them I wasn't going, and I asked them for the forms to fill out for the insurance I had purchased. Now, I always purchase travel insurance because I have a history of husbands who tend to get sick. But this time it was me. The insurance is not cheap, but I had bought it for both of us. And so she sent me the forms. No, she sent me the telephone number. I called the insurance company, and they sent me the forms, and I filled them out immediately, and I'm thinking, are they going to cover me for a cold? Because my experience is that they'll try anything to get out of paying an insurance claim. They'll just say no. But there was nothing I could do. I couldn't travel with this cold, so to speak, and I was just hoping. Oh, I didn't tell you that I immediately did a COVID test. And it was negative. And I did 3 more COVID tests over the next week or 2. They were all negative. Now, I've had every booster that they offer, so I knew it probably wasn't going to be that. It could have been because there's a lot of COVID going around our retirement community. And most of it is pretty mild because, when you're immunized so many times, it's more or less like a cold. You can't even tell the difference. But that's another story. So I fill out the forms. I call my doctor, and I tell them what's happening, and would they fill out and sign the insurance form. I filled it out, and I just needed their signature. So she did. They sent it back to me the next day, and she had put upper respiratory infection. And eventually, within a few days, I sent the whole packet of everything that they were requesting to the insurance company. I have not heard yet. I have my fingers crossed, because this was not a cheap trip. No, this was not a cheap trip. So, I mean, the money's gone, so I can put it out of my mind, but it would be really great to get it back. Really great. Now, for the next week, my energy level was non-existent. And it was frustrating because there were so many things around here I wanted to do. I could not do anything except basically sleep, which is what you're supposed to be doing. And it gets worse. Eventually, I completely lose my voice. 100%. I could not say a word. And I read that you shouldn't whisper. You know, this has happened to me once or twice before, and I would whisper, but it says whispering is really going to make it worse. So I made an effort not to whisper, and I was writing things down. I just stayed home. And what I really wanted to do was to go to the New Year's Eve party that they have here at the community center, because they have a live band, and it's very nice. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I did go, and I had no voice, so I just ate and drank and danced. And that was good enough for me. At least I got there. You can probably hear my voice. It's not completely 100% back. It's just amazing how many people were sick over the holidays. Did you survive? Did your family survive? Oh my goodness, what a holiday. And it's been so cold. My goodness, I think this is the coldest winter I remember. It's been in the 30s every day, and my memory, unless it's faulty, was that our Decembers are pretty mild here in North Carolina. And usually it tricks me. I think, ooh, this is going to be an easy winter because it's so warm in December. And then whoosh, January comes and just knocks us off our feet. We don't get a lot of snow here. Sometimes we don't get any snow. But it gets cold. And this year, really cold. How has your weather been? Whew. Unless you're in Florida, I imagine you've been cold too. So let me tell you a few other things that have been going on in our retirement world here among the so-called retirees. Well, we did go to a Christmas dance at the beginning of the month, a ballroom dance, and they have it at one of the schools, and it's lovely. And I won the door prize. Wow! And the funny thing was, when I got there and I saw this big basket on the table, and I put my name in the basket, there was no charge or anything, it was just a gift. And I thought, I'm going to win this basket. And I really didn't want to, because you know why? It was just full of all these goodies, and the last thing you need are more goodies at the holiday time to eat when you shouldn't be eating them. Yep, right. So I had this premonition I was going to win this basket, and honestly, when she pulled my name, I wasn't even surprised, and I had to put a smile on, and I'm thinking, I don't want this basket. What can I do with it? But, I accepted it graciously, and I thought, well, I can give it away. But I'll tell you, when I got home, my curiosity got the best of me, and I said, what is all that stuff in there? Maybe there's something I can eat. So I took it apart, and fortunately, there were a lot of things that I don't like, and that's good because I wasn't tempted. Things like caramels, and I'm not a big pretzel eater, but there were a couple of yummy things that I consumed right on the spot, and then said, okay, that's it. And so it wasn't too bad. It was just a lovely basket, and I was lucky, I guess. Now, here at the Community Center, the focus by Human Resources was on the staff. We have a new Human Resource Director, and she's really good because she does all kinds of great things to make the staff feel appreciated. And right now, you know how hard it is to get staff for anything. So keeping our staff and recruiting new staff is very, very important. And so one of the things she does, she has parties for them all the time. And there was a Christmas party, and they had a staff gingerbread house contest, which was cute. But the other thing was, in the lobby, there are 3 beautiful Christmas trees. And I don't know where she got Santa, but she had the greatest Santa who stood behind a bench where anyone, staff, residents, could sit on the bench and have their picture taken with Santa. So of course I did that, and it was a really nice picture. And then they had a big backdrop. You could stand in front of that and have your picture taken. So of course I did that. And it's nice to have Christmas pictures like that. We have resident-led dances twice a month, and I'm the DJ, and I basically set the themes for the dances. And so, of course, for Christmas, I wrote on the poster, "Please wear Christmas attire," and most people did. You know, they were dressed in red and green and whatever sparkly stuff just to make it seem festive. And they had decorated the Blue Ridge room where we dance with Christmas trees and extra lighting, so it was really pretty. Now, this was before I lost my voice, so I was able to talk at that dance. Of course, I was expecting to have my Christmas dinner over there on St. Simon's Island, which was not to be. However, I will say that our catering staff put on quite the spread for Christmas. At Christmas time, a lot of people are gone, but also a lot of people invite their families to join them in our restaurant, which is called The Bistro. And so I ended up eating in the bistro instead, but it wasn't a hardship, let me tell you. They had the most incredible appetizer table that I have ever seen here. It was breathtaking. Look at this. And those were only the starters. And then they had a full menu of other delicious food. Now, here's the bad part. You have to make a reservation for major holidays because so many people come to the dining room. They have to spread them out. Normally we just go in and eat, but they have to really make sure there's room for everyone. And since we were supposed to be out of town, I had not made a reservation, and without a reservation we could not sit down and eat. So we had to take our carry-out bags, our insulated carry-out bags that we were all issued when we moved in, and put all the food in there and eat at home. But to tell you the truth, I was still sick. I would not have sat down anyway because that would not have been a good thing to do. So that is the story of my disappointing Christmas holiday. But gee, I feel great now, and I hope that you all do too. So I haven't made videos in several weeks, and it's good to be back. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.